This is undoubtedly one of the best and most powerful tactical torches I have ever used. In fact, I'm blown away by it. I would call this a professional torch, and I don't say that lightly. Now, this comes from the Cyan Sky company, and it is the K3 V2 high performance tactical flashlight, and it is simply brilliant, pardon the pun. Now, in this video I will test this torch and its claims, and I will show you just how good it is. Now, full disclosure, the Cyan Sky company reached out to me and asked if I wanted to test and review one of their torches, and I said yeah, for sure, and this is what they sent to me. Now, when companies send you a sample product to review, they often put in some terms and conditions because they don't want to potentially have their reputation or their company image ruined by a bad review. Now, the Cyan Sky company never stated any terms or conditions or requests about the way I conduct this review. They just asked me to test it and do a video review on it. So what I'm about to give you is a fully unbiased review of their product, the K3 V2 flashlight. Now, also, if you like this flashlight, and I honestly believe you will, then I will place all relevant details and links in the video description below. You know, if you wish to purchase this product. Please remember, I'm not trying to sell you anything. I don't try to do that kind of stuff. But if I find a good product, then I will review it and you can decide if it's something that you want. Now, let's get on with what you want to see. I will first of all say that I have never heard of the Cyan Sky company or any of their products until they contacted me. At first, I didn't really know what to expect. And I kind of thought, here's another Chinese company selling their Chinese product, making outrageous claims that really don't stand up to the test. So I quickly researched them and checked out their website and feedback from others. Now, although this is a China-based company, I have actually found them to be very different from your usual Chinese manufacturers and sellers. Not only do they have a very well designed and up-to-date website, they also have a great range of flashlights, headlamps and batteries. I mean, I was really impressed, and it takes a lot to impress me. Now, I'm only testing this flashlight that they sent to me, a sample product, and it is absolutely high quality. So I figured that if this torch is anything to go by, I can only surmise that the rest of their advertised products on their website is extremely good too. So let's talk about the torch. The Cyan Sky K3 V2. This torch claims a maximum light output of 2000 lumens, and that's quite a lot. A maximum light throw distance of 700 meters, a maximum runtime of 400 hours. That's like 16 days, people. It's waterproof rated at IP68 up to 2 meters underwater, and it has an impact resistance of 2 meters. So if you drop it from 2 meters, it should not get damaged and should still work. So what is this torch suitable for? Well, this torch is absolutely suitable for professional scenarios such as military use, law enforcement, that is police, security officers, search and rescue type of scenarios, hunting, cycling, put this on your bike and man, it'll light up everything. Cave exploration, even camping, hiking, or simply just to have at home. Let's go through an unboxing so you can see exactly what this comes with. So when you pull it out of its box, you'll see the torch or the flashlight itself, the K3 V2, there it is. It will come with the flashlight holster, so you can put this on your belt and have it quickly accessible. It will come with a Type-C, USB-C charging cable. It comes with a lanyard. It comes with 2 spare waterproof O-rings and a spare rubber silicone switch. There's also a user manual that's written in English and it's written very well. And there's also a warranty card that comes with this. I'll talk more about the warranty a little bit later. It's actually really, really good. It also comes with a belt clip that is titanium plated. It's very strong and it will not rust. And there is the battery that comes with this. Now, this is a very interesting battery. This is called the 21700 rechargeable lithium ion battery. It's a new style. I haven't seen this or haven't got one of these before, so it's very, very interesting to see how this works. It's 5000 milliamp in power and it's great stuff. That's everything. This is what you will get with your purchase. So let's take a close look at this torch. Now, the shell of the torch is made out of high quality aircraft grade hard aluminium. It's very well designed and has a great feel in the hands. there is a body switch that is on top of the body. I'll talk more about that later. There is a silicon tactical switch that's at the base, and that feels great to press. I'll talk more about that also in its operation. Looking at the head of this torch, it's got what's called an attack style head design. Very suitable for, smashing glass, and I want to show you how I smashed a few things with this a little bit later in the video. In the attack head, it has 3 strategically positioned zirconium impact beads. That's up there with titanium. It's stronger than steel, and what that is for, it's for smashing glass or any sort of other hard surface that is breakable, and that will smash. Taking a closer look at the battery, as I said before, it's 5000 milliamp. It's a 21700 Type C lithium ion rechargeable battery. This is from the ScienceSky company. It's got their imprinting all over it, and it has overload protection built into it so that it does not get damaged if it reaches its full capacity of charging. When you plug it in, there is a little light on the top side of it. It goes red when it's charging and it's green when it's full. It takes 3.5 hours to get fully charged from 0%, and this battery can run 400 hours in what's called the eco mode of the torch. 400 hours is basically 16 days. That's really, really cool. Now, the torch body itself has no USB-C opening, so to recharge the battery, you've actually physically got to remove the battery, which is very easy. You simply unscrew the tail end, remove it out, and then you use the USB-C cable to plug in directly to the battery. When it's full, you simply place it back into the torch. Simple as that. The complete length of the torch is 153 millimeters, and that's basically what I would call a palm-sized torch. Now, the head diameter is basically 40 millimeters, and the diameter of the tail cap is 27 millimeters. Let me show you how much this weighs. With the battery inside, the torch weighs 200 grams. Now, if we remove the battery and put the tail cap back on, then the weight of the torch without that battery is 129 grams, and the battery alone is 73 grams. So let me show you how exactly this torch operates. Firstly, it has 2 switches. As I mentioned earlier in this video, it has a body switch, and that body switch has a battery indicator light on it, and I'll talk more about that soon. And it also has a rubber tail switch. Now, to turn on the torch, it is always turned on from the tail switch. Now, once it's on, there are a few modes. Now, first of all, there is something that's called a momentary light, and the way you activate the momentary light is if you slightly press the tail switch without pressing it in until it clicks, just a gentle press. This is a momentary mode. And so when you do that, the light will turn on. As soon as you let go of that rear tail switch, the light will go off. Now, that is extremely important for many scenarios where you only want to light up a room, maybe a person or a situation momentarily, and then turn off the torch straight away. Ew. Rather than some torches where you actually have to cycle through a combination of different light settings or modes before you get to the off stage, this momentary mode is actually a very handy mode. Next up is what is called the general mode, and what that's all about is when you press the tail switch, it turns on to the general mode. And in fact, it'll actually turn on to the very last setting that you left it in, and that's where the memory function comes into it. What's the memory function? Well, all it is the very last mode that you used, the torch actually stays in that position or is saved in that position. It remembers it so that when you turn it off and turn it back on, it simply starts up in that very last light setting that you left it in. Rather than, some torches, you actually have to cycle through them all the way, all the combinations to get to your desired power level. Here, the memory function is when you turn it back on, it simply turns back on to your last left power mode. So the general mode, it has 4 different power settings. It's got low, medium, high, and turbo. So 4 different power settings, and these simply cycle through every time you press the body switch. Let me just talk a bit about each of those modes. The low setting will run at 30 lumens. It'll run for 66 hours. It's quite a long period of time. Medium setting will run at 150 lumens, so it's already more powerful, but for 16 hours. High setting will run at 800 lumens for 4 hours, and turbo setting will run at 2000 lumens. It's extremely powerful for 2 hours. Now, let me just talk about that turbo setting. It is so powerful that the head of the torch actually will go hot. In fact, there is this warning on the end of the torch there at the head, and it says hot. And because the LED that's used in this torch is so powerful in turbo mode, it actually does get very hot. So it gives a warning sign there. Now there is a safety feature that's built into the torch where turbo mode will actually turn off, or rather go into the high mode, which is the next mode down, after 90 seconds of use. And that's to avoid overheating and also to protect the user as well. Now realistically, you're not going to need turbo mode on constantly. It is extremely powerful. You'll just need it for short bursts when you need it for a particular situation. Now, are there any other modes? Yes, there are 2 other special modes, and they are called Eco and Strobe. Let's talk about Strobe first. The Strobe setting is turned on like this. When you have the torch on, you see the torch has to be on in the first place, you hold the body switch for 0.8 seconds, so basically 1 second, and that then activates the strobe function, and it will strobe at 2000 lumens, which can be seen from 700 meters away. Now, the strobe function is used for many different situations. It might be some emergency type of situation. It might be, for self-defense. It might be to be used as a beacon and also as part of rescue operations. So it's got to be on, hold it for almost 1 second, and the strobe will begin to activate. To turn it off, you simply press the body switch and it will turn off. Now, I hear you saying, but I thought there were 400 hours of torchlight in this thing. Well, yes, there is. Now, the 400 hours or 16 days worth of light, this is called eco mode. All right, obviously for economy. Now, to activate this eco mode, you need to hold the body switch whilst pressing the tail switch. Okay, so hold the body switch first, then press the tail switch, and it will turn the light on to 2 lumens. And that 2 lumens is eco mode, and it will last 400 hours or 16 days of use. Now, yes, it is low light, but you might only want low light for your particular situation. I want you to think about this for just a moment. Just say you last used this torch in the high setting. That means if you turn it off, and then if you turn it back on by pressing the tail switch, it will turn back on to that high setting, very bright setting, due to its saved memory function. Now, you need to ask the question, what if it was tactically unsafe to turn it onto a high setting? You didn't want that. Well, that's where eco mode comes in very handy. And to turn it on to a low light, you hold the body switch, press the tail switch, and then you have the eco mode or a low light, which might be exactly what you need. Now, from that eco mode, if you want to cycle up in power settings and go to low, medium, high, or even turbo, you simply press the body switch button and it will cycle through the other settings as per usual. Now, another question you might ask is, how do I know how much battery power is left in this torch? Well, there is a battery indicator that's built into the body switch, and here's how you read it. The body switch has a little LED light in the middle of it, and it has only 2 colors, green and red. As you turn on the torch, this light will turn on for 3 seconds, and it will show you the battery power that's remaining. Now, if it's constant green, it means it's got 75% to 100% of power left. If it's green and it flashes, that means it is 50% to 75% of power left. If the light is red, that means there's 25%. If it's flashing red, it means it's got 25% or less. You'll need to charge it soon. Another interesting thing here is when it is in low power state, there is another function that this torch has. What it does is the torch will light or flash 3 times every 3 minutes to remind you to charge a battery. So you're shining your torch around and suddenly it'll flash 3 times. That is an indicator that it is in the low power state, and it's telling you, hey, I need charging, please. And I have not seen that smart function before in other torches. Really, really clever stuff. I'll just say something about the warranty from ScienceSky. It's actually pretty darn good. ScienceSky gives a 15-day free replacement warranty if there are some kind of quality problems with your torch. Otherwise, what they have is a 5-year free warranty for normal use problems and a 1-year warranty for the battery. Now that's actually pretty good because most other companies that sell torches, in my experience, they only give you a 12-month warranty on the torch. ScienceSky gives you a 5-year warranty on the torch itself. Let me quickly talk about what I like about this torch. One word, everything. I love this torch. I think it is a fantastic bit of kit. I'll mention two things that could have been a bit different. What I would have liked to have seen is maybe some kind of a USB-C port on the torch shell itself, because that would have made charging a bit easier. I mean, when I first got this torch, it actually took me just a few minutes to work out how to charge this thing, as I didn't realize that the USB-C charge port is actually on the battery itself. So that was a bit new to me. I haven't had these styles of batteries before. So I had to actually remove the battery, and I kind of thought, man, where is the charging port on the torch? You know, to make things a bit easier. However, thinking about this, I believe that it's designed like this purposely in order to be completely waterproof. I mean, just think about it. If you got some kind of charge port from the outside, this might not actually be fully and completely waterproof. So it's just something to be aware of. And just another point, I would have also liked a way to turn this torch on and off from the body switch and not only the tail switch. However, as this is a palm-sized torch, I can actually just hold it in my hand and turn on the tail switch with my thumb and then use my pinky to turn on the body switch. So turning this torch on and off can be a one-handed operation, but I definitely would have preferred two methods to turn the torch on and off. It's certainly not a deal breaker, but something you need to know. The ScienceSky company has absolutely surprised me with the quality of this product. I mean, I'll be using this a lot in my adventures and explorations, and simply as an EDC or an everyday carry torch. I even used this as an impromptu picnic light at night when our family went out to have dinner in the park. There was no light where we were, so I used this torch to shine it up at the roof of the shelter that we were under, and it lit the place right up. There was so much light for everyone. I had it on the high setting, and I had it on there for a good hour, and it barely affected any battery power. I mean, I can really say that the battery on this torch lasts for ages. It's simply great. I can see myself as comparing future flashlight or torch reviews against the ScienceSky K3 V2 for myself, because for me this has set a benchmark of quality and power. I absolutely recommend this. And I know you want to see me smash a few things with it, so here goes. For some strange reason, that felt so good doing that. Now, as I mentioned at the start of this video, all links will be in the description below if you want to check it out any further. Thank you very much for watching this video. Always appreciate you rocking up and giving me a thumbs up, and consider sharing this video with others. Catch you on the next one.